Huh? Huh? What are you going for? What are you going for? It's the same thing! What do you mean there's no robots? What do you mean? They're just from mechs. What are you talking? What the fuck do you call this thing, huh? Looks like a mech to me. Looks like a little armor corner.
Paper Mario, the OG bonking man. Before I was hardcore bonking Iguazu, I was bonking on Koopas. And so today is Mario's paper guy and a smelly table. Why am I talking about this? Well, because of relevancy. While this isn't the biggest news in the gaming space overall, and everyone else has already talked about it 1,000 times over, why do I bother talking about it? That's why. Did you forget why you're here? I absolutely love this game. In fact, it for a long time was consistently my second favorite game of all time, right behind another game I won't be talking about for a long time. This game has stayed on my mind since the day I first played it, and is it because the game is something incredible, or because it was my first, and for a while, only RPG I had ever played? I tricked you. It's kind of neither and both. Still got your attention? I wouldn't say this game is a 10 out of 10 at all. A lot of my fondness for this game is nostalgia, but it being the only RPG I really played and finished for a long time wasn't nostalgia based. It's because this game's RPG systems are genius. For example, the bonk. Bonk. It's not just about selecting bonk and just letting it play out. You have these little action commands. You gotta charge that bonk up and let it rip. Are you someone who isn't a fan of turn-based RPGs? Well, I don't blame you. The only turn-based RPGs I like are these ones here. They're the only ones I like. Persona 4 and 5 might be up there if I was physically capable of finishing any Persona game. They're way too long for me. That's never happening. But what makes an RPG stand out for me is the combat, not always the story. A lot of the times, hang on, 1 second. A lot of times, RPGs are played for their narrative, and the turn-based combat system became the railroad tracks to witness tales unfold across dozens of hours. Whether or not turn-based combat was the vehicle that was capable of Ubering that story to you, or if it was just what went together at the time, I don't really know or care. All I do know is all types of gameplay styles has in-depth stories now. So why play turn-based? I don't really like it. You're telling me I have to select bonk and just watch it happen instead of doing it myself? And I don't hate RPGs. I'm just trying to hype up Paper Mario here in case you would hate RPG. Remember I said you gotta charge it up for the... Well, for the jumps, if you press A in time with your landing, you do another jump. And when you're getting hit, if you press A at the right time, right when you get hit, you can block a bit of damage. Even more difficult, press B when you're getting hit, do a super guard, block even more damage, and do a little bit more damage back. The timing is significantly more strict. Why is this important? Well, it's all the difference. Combat in an RPG nowadays will make or break it, I believe. Persona 5 hit gamers on such a mainstream current primarily because of how engaging the combat system is. And probably just as much for the world, but I won't buy it if you're saying people play that game for the story. Only 5 people have finished that game. The combat being interactive makes it to where the game doesn't get old. And that's not even talking about additional stylish moves that you can perform throughout your regular attack. Stylish bonk. Handler Walter. No. I said Bowser. The characters are cool. Here's some in particular that I like a little more than others. I don't know what's up with this one. Just this one specifically, something about this character is always stuck with me. Just why this is the best Paper Mario game, I like to argue. Meet me at Area 52, not 51, at 6:04 p.m. Next year on December 33rd. There's unique and goofy characters throughout this entire game, which makes it easier to play if you're not an average Mario enjoyer. 8 years old. The art style actually isn't what's held up compared to everything else, but the remake looks lit. And tell me you hate this soundtrack. There's no way you do. Now the big part I want to talk about, which is that on all accounts, unanimously, this upcoming remake should have never, ever even existed. I mean, I straight up cried to this, is what I would say if I wasn't such an Omega Chad. Why is this game so unbelievable to everyone who wanted it? Old games are remade fucking constantly. That's because this game is so constantly anti-modern Nintendo every single step of the way. Unique characters, a plot that doesn't involve Bowser being the main villain, weird shit like the first major boss asking if you want to smell their feet because people pay good money for this. What? Character arcs relating lightly to one's identity. There's literally a character called Rock Hawk. His name sounds like Rock Hawk. Rock Hawk in a Mario game. There's so much variety. You can play this game like a loser or like me. There's this. We went over this earlier. Mr. Nintendo had no reason to touch this game ever again, but he did. I really don't know why, but I'm not here to complain. Take my money. I'll give you $90 for the first chapter, and we can go chapter by chapter basis. I guarantee a shocking amount of people, including myself, would have dropped $70 on a simple port and HD upres of this game in a heartbeat. And that's sad. But that's the power of the Sausage Guy's table. So, again, why am I making this video? Because this shit's been bouncing around in my Silent Hill-ass brains.
And I need to get it out! This is my outlet! Ah! You're the boss! Subscribe, like, you can take a nap! You earned it!